Hi all, Susan Winter here. Welcome to my channel. If you are one of my fantastic subscribers, welcome back. Love having you here. And if you're new, welcome. And I really hope that you find something today that helps you and that you will come away from this feeling far more informed. And if you do, please press the subscribe button. So I'm continuing to answer your questions, and today this is a discussion about the perception of value in a relationship, meaning how do we create our own sense of value and how do we value another person. I'm going to talk about the specifics of that, and Romina has written this to me. Thanks, Romina. I appreciate that. Romina writes, "You touched on this in a recent video, but I'd love for you to speak on the topic specifically, the process by which we value a person, romantic relationship. 1. When do we start placing that value? 2. Once we value them in a certain way, does it change? And 3. How come we can find ourselves overvaluing people when we felt that at the start we were both valuing each other the same, or was I just disillusioned?" And I think what you mean here is that you gave this person credit for something that they didn't deserve, and you felt valued, and now you are not feeling valued. Okay, so let's start with how is value perceived? Value is perceived by how we imagine this person racks up their chips in life. Are we dating somebody who's a little out of our league? Do we feel that they have tremendous influence, power, money, success, looks? Are we kind of overly eager and put them in a higher category because we think they're so intelligent or so charismatic or so well-connected socially? Whatever it is, in the initial phases of dating, we tend to go in with rose-colored glasses, especially if we feel a connection and the date is going well. We tend to create our own story, which I call the dream. So that's number 1. When you've asked Romina, when does it start? It starts when we meet the person, things are agreeable, and we start to create the rest of the story that we don't know at that time. They went to a certain college and we're like, oh, but they're so intelligent. Or they talk about their father and how they've traveled with their father, and we're like, oh, and they love their family. And we go on to the other dimensions of the scattered fragments of information that we get. That's how it starts. So we create their value by elevating what we see and know with our own imagination of how we would perceive that to be valuable. It's a natural thing. It gets us in the gate. It's part of the dating process. And now, on to number 2. You ask, once we value them in a certain way, does it change? Yes. They either really disillusion us, or they treat us poorly. They prove that they are not what we thought they were because now they're incongruous. For example, they used to talk about how close they are to their family. You go out with them another time, they're fighting with their brother and they hate them. So now they're starting to lose value because now they're not credible to us. And the last thing you're asking is, once we find ourselves overvaluing them, when we felt that at the start, that, okay, I think this is a second language for you. What you're really saying is, in the beginning, I felt loved and valued by this person. And then I overvalued them as I realized they were undervaluing me. What happens if you're in a relationship and you feel yourself slipping? You know that no matter what you're doing, you can feel their evaluation of you eroding. And so that can oftentimes kick in this really desperate need and want of trying to prove yourself to the person and trying to regain that beautiful initial phase when they're really excited and happy to meet you. Because again, they're filling in their blank canvas with what they want you to be. And again, when you've got two people that don't know each other taking fragments of information that they've gotten from a first date, they are both building their own scenarios, but these could be in totally different directions. So let's say a guy sees me in gym clothes. Then he thinks, oh my God, she's sporty. She probably runs 10 miles a day. I bet she does. He can start to go like, oh my God, I've got this incredibly sporty woman. What if that's the one day I showed up in exercise clothes? And I'm not about that at all. And I would rather be a couch potato reading a book. So we go in very different directions according to how we need to create our scenario. And everybody is infatuated with the flurry in the beginning. It's the mystery, where we get to paint in the colors we want to add to the few specks that we have gotten. We continue to create the painting. What happens when you are holding on? You still value somebody, and you've locked them into that dream, and they are not there, and they are not treating you well. This is what I think you're talking about. The only way to elevate our value, and the only way to retain our value, is to be absolutely in alignment with our goals and our standards for how we want our relationship to be, and that despite the fact that we may want to seek their approval, we gather ourselves up, kind of sort ourselves out, and say, if I have to try this hard to get somebody's approval, if I have to jump up and down to make them see my worth, then I have the wrong person. And I filled in this gorgeous dream. I just had the wrong character as the leading man or the leading woman here. So being absolutely committed to what you want to create, showing up as being absolutely the standard that you want to be known as, to be the character that you admire in this drama. You've got to be the leading lady, leading man in this movie that you're proud of their behavior. So instead of, weeping and moping and yearning and crying and begging and like hoping and all these little things that we don't want to do, the choice instead is to reaffirm your own value. They cannot see your value if you don't see your value yourself. And I do understand this is one of those easy lines that relationship experts flip off, and you're probably like, oh God, why do you keep saying it? It's like, love yourself. But if you're going into the spiral and you're losing your vision, and you're kind of starting to lose your belief in yourself, there is a methodology to slowly regain your stability and remember what you want. You have to be committed to what you want to create in your loving romantic relationship, even more so than the person that is coming for this audition today. Okay? You don't downward amend what you want to fit the whims of the person who's casually toying with you. You don't. We always tend to think, oh God, I can't get what I want, so I've got to level down. No, you actually have to do the opposite. You have to level up. Reaffirm what you want to create. Then, in that very process, they will start to be devalued in your mind, because now you have your focus on the right target, which is, this is the quality of relationship I want to have. This is the quality of relationship I want to experience. And now you will realize their deficit, their discrepancy, in that they are not that person, they're not that character to bring that to you. So you can keep the dream, you just remove them as the vehicle to get it. Okay? So if you can understand that, I hope that helps. Even the most confident people can sometimes find themselves yearning for, wanting, and chasing somebody that is fading away. And the better question really is, are they really up to my standard of what I see in my dream as a partner who loves me? And then things kind of get clear very quickly. I hope this has helped you. Susan Winter for SusanWinter.net. If you want to work with me, please go to the consultation page. There are a number of different ways you can do so. I urge you to sign up for the newsletter, because that's really cool. I include you with a lot of personal updates that I don't share out here in the general public, and even times that I'm in different cities all over the world, because I travel quite a bit, where I like to meet my fans and followers. And you can hear this on Spotify and iHeartRadio if you like. So thank you very much, everyone. Take care now.